Well, good evening, everybody. It is Wednesday, Hump Day, and it's the 17th of February, and it's 11:15 in the evening, Eastern Time. Got off a little late start tonight, but anyway, just thought I'd share a few of my thoughts with you, and I have to admit, tonight it's going to be about Donald Trump. Gee, I thought we'd be done with him once Joe Biden became inaugurated, but I guess not, because Donnie wants to make sure he stays in the news. You know how that is. He likes attention. He's been like that all of his life. So why should he change now? Well, anyway, I have it entitled tonight, Trump's in Trouble Again, or Still Is. Well, why do I say that? I mean, what possible trouble could Donald Trump be in now? Well, gee, I thought that would all stop once he left the White House and went down to Mar-a-Lago, but obviously it didn't. It came on the news that a congressman and I believe the president of the NAACP are going to sue Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani over the Capitol riots. And I have here that the suit is accusing both Trump and Giuliani. He's accusing them of conspiring with two extremist groups. One's called the Oath Keepers, and the other one, the Proud Boys. And the congressman that's suing, his name is Benny Thompson. And he's saying in his suit here, it says that the attack was the intended and foreseeable culmination after carefully coordinated campaign to interfere with the legal process required to confirm the tally of votes cast in the Electoral College. You see, on the 6th of February, I believe it's the same date every 4 years for the presidential election, that the Electoral College votes go to Congress and the House of Representatives, and they confirm it. They double check the Electoral College from each state. They get the figures in from each state, and they go down the list, and then the Vice President of the United States, in this case Mike Pence, he confirmed all those votes. Of course, Donald Trump wanted Mike Pence to declare from the seat up there in the Senate that he basically, I think he wanted them to send the votes back to the states, and I'm not sure if he wanted him to recount. I don't think it was going to be a recount. Basically, he wanted them to overturn the election is what he wanted to do. And actually, to Mike Pence's credit, he said, I can't do that. I cannot do that. That's not constitutional. Well, Donald Trump didn't like that. So needless to say, Pence and Trump are on the outs for a bit. I think their relationship is like permanently screwed. But anyway, that's what Benny Thompson wants to do. Him and the NAACP are suing Trump and Giuliani. And I'm glad. I was wondering how long it was going to take them to do it. And of course, Donald Trump, he had one of his advisors by the name of Jason Miller said, and I'm quoting here, President Trump did not plan, now get this, he did not plan, produce, or organize the January 6th rally on the ellipse. So in other words, they had a rally. I forget the name of the rally. They had a name for it, Save America or something stupid. And then after that, they were going to go to the courthouse. I was watching it. They had it on C-SPAN. And, well, anyway, Jason Miller, one of Trump's spokesmen, said President Trump, quote, did not plan, produce, or organize the January 6th rally on the ellipse. President Trump did not incite or conspire to incite any violence at the Capitol on January 6th. So in other words, he wants us to believe that, oh well, that can't possibly have had something to do with Donald Trump. No. Of course, there were several speakers there. Giuliani was one of them. There were several others. There was another lady there that was founder of the Tea Party. I don't know her name offhand, but she was there speaking. But miraculously, guess who else was the main speaker? The president. The then, I call him President Dick, Donald Trump. But he didn't know anything about that, no. He didn't plan it. No. Well, I think we know better. I think we know what happened. He knew. Nothing gets by the President of the United States, especially this idiot that we had in there. Well, anyway. They mention here, too, that the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers, they have a goal. What is that goal? Well, it says the goal by these two racist and violent Trump-supporting groups was to employ, intimidate, harass, and threaten, all to stop the vote count. Donald Trump did every possible thing he could to overturn the elections. Everything. Matter of fact, I think, months before this even happened, I mean, if you were alert enough, you realize that he was hitting around and doing something. Because he said, the only way that I'm going to lose this election is if it was rigged. Well, whatever gave him that idea that it was going to be rigged in the first place? You see, I think he was planning this all along. He knew what he was going to do. And then he kept weaseling it in there, weaseling it in. See, he had this plan of action. I believe this. He brought up the topic like, oh, well, I'm bound to win, but if I lose, it's because somebody fiddled with the election results. And if you notice, as the months went by, he kept bringing it up on this campaign rallies and bringing it up and bringing it up. And then it got to the point, especially when the election happened. Oh, that can't be right. That's basically what he was saying. I won, and something's not right. And then he started all this finagling with the judicial system. And, well, first he had them count the votes over. And, of course, when they counted the votes over, I think there was like a total of 3 times on some of the states, they recounted the votes. And each time they recounted it, he lost. So how many more times are you supposed to count them? Well, anyway, that was his strategy. I truly believe that. You look back and see what he did. And the ultimate goal is what happened on January the 6th. He thought for sure that these people were going to get in there and disrupt the vote count and make it so that, oh well, he won after all. It was a bold move. The only thing is he didn't have the military to back him up, so he lost. He had no choice. He got out. But I'll tell you what, all his minions that fell for his nonsense, they're suffering the consequences right now. And I really believe he's going to suffer them too. He has his ways. He tries to finagle around things, but eventually it's going to catch up to him. I really hope he gets put in prison, but anyway. So anyway, wasn't long ago, a few days ago as a matter of fact, I think it was, it was the day that the Senate voted to acquit him again for the second time, the second impeachment trial. And Mitch McConnell, after he already voted to acquit Trump, he gives him a blistering rebuke, basically, is what he did. Oh, what he did was wrong, and it was nonsense and myth and all that stuff. Well, anyway, it didn't take long. Donald Trump heard what he said, and he had a blistering attack back. And what I want to do, and I have it pulled up here. Now he had a 3-page statement. Now, I'm not going to read the whole thing because you know how Donnie is. He has to ramble on and on and on. But I have it pulled up on my computer here, and I'm going to read the 3rd page of what he had to say. Now, wait till you hear this. This will be a kicker. Now, this is Donald Trump's statement. His third, the last page of his statement. Here's what he says, quote, "My only regret is that McConnell begged for my strong support and endorsement before the great people of Kentucky in the 2020 election, and I gave it to him. He went from 1 point down to 20 points up, and won. How quickly he forgets. Without my endorsement, McConnell would have lost, and lost badly. Now, his numbers are lower than ever before. He is destroying the Republican side of the Senate, and in so doing, seriously hurting our country." Imagine that. Him hurting our country? What did Donald Trump do to our country? Anyway, continuing on, Trump goes, "Likewise, McConnell has no credibility on China because of his family's substantial Chinese business holdings." Now, he's actually giving a dig toward McConnell's wife on that. "He does nothing on this tremendous economic and military threat. Mitch is a dour, sullen, and unsmiling political hack. And if Republican senators are going to stay with him, they will not win again. He will never do what needs to be done or what is right for our country. Where necessary and appropriate, I will back primary rivals who espouse making America great again and our policy of America first. We want brilliant, strong, thoughtful, and compassionate leadership. Prior to the pandemic, we produced the greatest economy and job numbers in the history of our country. And likewise, our economic recovery after COVID was the best in the world. We cut taxes and regulations, rebuilt our military, took care of our vets, became energy independent, built the wall, and stopped the massive inflow of illegals into our country, and so much more. And now illegals are pouring in. Pipelines are being stopped. Taxes will be going up, and we will no longer be energy independent. This is a big moment for our country, and we cannot let it pass by using third-rate leaders to dictate our future. Close quote. So that's his statement. I'm reading some of these paragraphs, I wanted to crack up laughing. It's like, give me a break already. Really? Goodness gracious. Yeah, what's this? We cut taxes. Yeah, he gave tax breaks to the top 1%. That helped them out. Didn't help the average person out. So, anyway. What a guy. I'll tell you that. But, most recent news that just came on today, by the way, Rush Limbaugh passed away at the age of 70 from lung cancer. I'm going to tell you something. I don't say anything nasty. I try not to say anything nasty about people who passed away, but let's just put it this way, I won't miss him. He was very insulting at times on his radio program, very racist, very prejudicial, and I can't believe what Trump didn't give him that medal of, I think it was Medal of Honor, or Congressional Medal, whatever. He didn't deserve it. I'm sorry, he didn't deserve it. But anyway, that's about it. Oh, I wanted to give a shout out to my friend John Bridabo in Texas and his family. Texas right now is going through a major crisis with the severely cold weather down there. And John, I hope that you and the family are doing fine. Last I heard, your power came back on, but I don't know if it stayed on. If you can hang on till the weekend, it's supposed to warm up. This is crazy, and your governor down there is not helping matters either. You know? Well, what? That's the reason we're having this problem is because of the green energy you guys are pushing. Yeah, right. He's an asshole. An asshole. Anyway, that's about all I have to talk about tonight. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks coming up. We have the COVID situation we're still dealing with, the pandemic. The figures are going down from what I understand, so that's a good thing to see. They just have to get that bill pushed through, and there's some people that are complaining, you know, they don't want the $15 an hour thing attached to the bill. They're going to have to negotiate that. I personally believe they should have it on there, but you know, even gradually, work it up gradually. So maybe they'll work a deal out. But either way, my views on that is Joe Biden. If they won't work with Joe Biden, then he needs to just push it through. I know he wants to do things bipartisan, but I have a feeling the Republicans, now they always did this, the Republicans, anything the Democrats did, they opposed. Didn't matter how good it was, they opposed it. And it's going to be the same way this time now. President Biden is gifted in negotiating. So let's see what he can do with this group. Of course, the Republicans back when he was in the Senate were quite different than the Republicans we have of today. They're a bunch of crazies as far as I'm concerned. Well, let's see what he can do. But I believe they have a deadline. I know it's in March. I'm not sure if it's March 8th or when it is, but there's a deadline that President Biden wants that bill on his desk so he can sign it. So they got to put some work into this and get it passed ASAP, because people are hurting right now. People don't have jobs. Kids need to go back to school. We need more vaccines and more vaccines administered. So, all right, well, just keep your eyes open. Let's hope things work out well. And John, hang in there, buddy, down there in Texas. Hopefully this heat will break. They're saying by the weekend it'll come back in and this cold will break. I know what you're going through, because usually it's weird the way it worked this time around. Usually those cold snaps will dip down over Pennsylvania, New York, Pennsylvania, and we get that bitter cold. But for some reason it just dipped straight down in the middle of the country, and you guys got hammered. They said, I don't know, it was some one of your officials down in Texas there. I think it was one of the mayors. I think it might have been the Austin mayor. He said this is usually an event that happens every 10 years, and he said now it's been happening quite frequently, so they need to come up with a plan. But they did point to the governor and said he hasn't done enough. They need to work on that electrical grid down there. They need to help you people out instead of bitching about stupid shit. But anyway, that's about all I have to say. Take care, everybody. Remember, you can find me on YouTube as John I Fly. That's JOHNIFLY, all in small case letters. Or you can find me on Facebook under my real name, John Unell, John R. Unell. And be sure to like the videos and subscribe, and feel free to comment. Let me know what you think. I do read those comments. I enjoy everything you have to say. I'm glad to see that a lot of you are liking my little rants, if you want to call them that, or my thoughts. See, this is who I am. I'm not one to scream and holler and yell unless something really pisses me off. And even then, it's just slightly before a roar. But anyway, thanks for taking the time to watch me and listen. And let's hope the rest of this week goes well. And Texas, you got to warm up. You people down south, warm up. And I will talk to you soon. Okay? Have a great rest of the week, and I will be probably putting around on here pretty soon. We'll find something to talk about. Okay, have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.